I worked in IT help desk for years, then started freelancing on Upwork with very little skills. After 2 years, there were months where I was making double what I was making in my full-time job. And after saving up 3 months of savings, I finally quit. In this video, I'll go over the habits that got me to full-time income and the 3 lessons that I learned along the way. If you want to take away the 2 most practical tips, they would be to learn your unproductive patterns and try to break them, and 2, go for a walk before you go to sleep at night. Later on, I'll explain how both of these can help you get to full-time income quicker. But first, on to lesson 1. Now, the first lesson is to go pro. There was a chat between George R.R. Martin and Stephen King a little bit ago that I think about often. Basically, Stephen King broke down his daily writing habits and how he wrote no matter what for hours every day, regardless whether there is inspiration or drive there. While George R.R. Martin said he can only write if something comes to him. It's clear by King's output he has all the traits of a true pro, whereas George R.R. Martin may not. The point is, there are traits, regardless of your craft, that make you a professional. There are thousands of freelancers out there, some of whom make a lot of money, but they're really not pros. For a better example, over the past month, I hired 2 different freelancers on Upwork. One was an 18-year-old web developer with 1 review on Upwork. The second was a top-rated freelancer with over 100K in earnings showed. One of them delivered a high-quality project within 3 hours with constant revisions and 0 complaints. The other one I haven't heard back from in 3 days. Can you guess which one is which? So the skills and traits beyond your technical ones that make you a real freelancer are onboarding the client properly after they agree to buy something from you. So many people drop the ball after a client says yes. Those first 24 to 48 hours after a sale is made are key in guaranteeing they buy from you again in the future. The second is properly gauging their expectations. If you can't do this, you will lose so many clients. The third is being extremely responsive always. It's part of being professional and courteous and seeming like you have your shit together. When it comes to modern dating and texting, people love to spend hours or days waiting to respond back and forth. But when you hear from actual people who make a lot of money, no matter how busy they are or how much money they make, they always respond immediately. This is ingrained in them from growing their business and client base. The next one is doing what you say you're going to do. That means following through, following up, and generally making sure you deliver a good service. The last one is a bit of a tricky one that many people don't know, but if you're a freelancer, don't constantly hassle your client to pay you immediately. I can't truly explain how this feels unless you've hired a freelancer before. Delivering your product and not rushing to pay you is going to give them signs that you know that you're doing and that you have plenty of other clients who want your services. All of these traits should lead into the core levers of your business, and that is constantly improving your service or product, gaining more customers, and figuring out how to retain those customers. That last one is key because without retention, you can get as many customers as you want, but you'll never make a lot of money. Finally, if you really want to understand these traits, go out and hire a freelancer on Upwork yourself just to see how it feels from the other end. I guarantee this will change how you see things and how you provide your service. Oh, and last thing, King does mention that he takes frequent walks throughout the day to help clear his mind and think of new ideas. So what I recommend for you if you're a freelancer is spend most of your day working, then take an hour or 2 at night to relax, watch a movie, play video games, and then take a 20-minute walk before you go to sleep at night. I guarantee you'll sleep like a baby. The second lesson is learn what triggers your distraction or procrastination. For example, for me, after I eat lunch, I find it hard to get back into the working mode. And sometimes I'll get distracted here or dick around on my phone. So instead of picking up my phone or trying to brute force my way into being productive again, I'll do something productive but not necessarily work related. So for me, that's been going to the gym, taking a shower, taking my dog for a walk, something that needs to get done that will help me be productive and kind of be a stepping stone into getting back into work mode. Sometimes it's truly hard to go from doom scrolling into taking care of business. And this kind of stepping stone helps me get back into the mode and be more productive. I know YouTubers love talking about how they're grinding 24/7. I totally call bullshit on this. But what you can do is flex your discipline muscles and try to work a little bit more each day, or try to work when you're usually dicking around and not being productive. It's about making those small wins and ultimately getting those extra minutes and hours worked throughout the day and week. I hope you all get to experience that feeling of accomplishment when you get in bed at night after working a long day, knowing you accomplished everything you wanted to do. Oh, and if your phone addiction is too real, there's something I think about that Alex Hormozi said recently. When you look back on your year, are you going to remember all the YouTube shorts, reels, TikToks you watched, or something great that you created? And the final lesson, number 3, is going to be a total game changer if you're new to freelancing and working longer hours. So thinking about work but not doing it causes anxiety, discomfort, and pain. But while you're actually doing the work, you feel no pain at all. So sometimes work is the cure. This is a lesson I'm constantly relearning. I don't care if you have a stomach ache, you're thinking about a girl, or you're anxious for no reason. I frequently deal with all of these, sometimes all at once. But I guarantee you what won't help you is spending more time on TikTok. And what will help you is getting down to work. I know during that moment it's so hard to sit down and code or prepare something for clients, but after a couple moments of working, your mind will feel that relief of focusing on your work instead of that girl who didn't answer your last text message. Plus, once you make a bunch of money, do you think you'll have more or less romantic options? Well, sorry. Almost got sucked in the manosphere for a second, but I hope some of these lessons and tips help you become more productive and make more money as a freelancer. If this theory stuff sounds good and all, but you still don't have enough clients on Upwork, watch these next two videos. The first goes over what to include in your proposals, and the second goes over why it's a Loom video. Watch both, get hired more, and thank me later. Appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you in the next one.